Hi, this is Teacher Dairo. So let's learn how to multiply decimal. How to multiply decimals. Now let's take for example one. We are having 25.6 multiplied by 2.8. Alright, so how can you go about this? So you have to take away the decimal point and write the number down as if there's no decimal point. But take note of the place values. So I'm going to write it as 256. Now I've removed the decimal point there. We don't need it for now. After that, then I'll multiply by the second digit. The other digits, which is 2.8. So multiply. So instead of writing the 2.8, I'll write it as whole number as well. That will be 28. Do not forget that the 8, if I'm writing 28, then 28, the 8 will stand for ones and the 2 will be tens. So I have to put it under each of them. That is, if this one is ones, then this is my 10, then this is my 100. Alright, because you must make sure that it is aligned. After that, then you can do your multiplication now. Let's start. 8 times 6, 8 times 6 is 48. So I'm going to, if I have 48, I'll always write the ones, keep the tens. So I'll write the ones there, 8, then keep the tens right here on top of the tens. After that, I will use the same 8 to multiply 5. If I do 5 times 8, I'm going to have 40. But don't forget that you were keeping 4 up here. So 40 plus 4 will give you 44. So now you have 44. The 4 is ones here. You write the ones down. Then you keep the tens, which is the other 4. You keep the tens on top of the 100. Alright, after that, then you do your 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. But don't forget that you were keeping 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. You put the 20 down. Now you don't have to keep the 2 because there's no figure after this 100. So I'm going to write my 20. So after you've done that, then you move on to the second digit, which is the 2 right here. Now the 2 is the tens. So your answer should start from here, but we cannot leave this one empty. So you can write 0 under this. Don't forget, we are starting from the tens. So we have nothing to do with the ones anymore. So let's start. So this 2 is tens multiplied by the ones right here will be 12. Then this is 12. I'm going to write the ones here under the tens. Then keep the remaining on top of the tens. After that, then you do 2 times 5. 2 times 5 will give you 10. But don't forget, you were keeping 1 on top of this 10. So 10 plus 1 will give 11. If you have a 11, you write the ones. And you keep the other. Alright. Thereafter, you move on to the 100. 2 times 2 is 4. Don't forget, you were keeping 1. 1 plus the 4 becomes 5. Put it under here. After everything, then you add together. Let's add. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 2 is 6. 0 plus 1 is 1. And 2 plus 5 is 7. Now the next question you should be asking yourself is where to put your decimal point. where should I put my decimal points? So that will not take you back to the question. Don't forget the question says you should do 25.6 multiplied by 2.8. Now, how many decimal places? Because we have to count the number, the decimal places. Now, this number is one decimal place because there's only one figure after the decimal points. One figure after the decimal point, and the other one is also one figure after the decimal point. So addition, making two figures. So then I will start from the back. Count two figures from the back. 1, 2. Then you put your decimal point after you've counted your two figures. So the final answer should be 71.68. Alright, let's take another example. 2.85 multiply by 7.5. Alright, just like I said earlier, you're going to take away the decimal point, write it as whole numbers. That will be 2, 8, then 5. After that, then you take the second one, which is 7.5, you remove the decimal point as well. That will be, you start from the ones 5 and 7. Then you put your sign of multiplication. Now let's multiply. 5 times 5 will give me 25. Now, from the 25, I realize that the 5 is 1, so I'm going to write the 5 down, then keep this tens on top of this tens. Alright, after that, I'm going to do 5 times 8. Don't forget, we need to use the 5 to multiply everything up here first. Alright, so 5 times 8 is 40. Do not forget you are keeping 2 up on top of the 8. That means 40 plus 2 will give you 42. If we have 42, the 2 is the ones. I'm going to put the ones down and keep my tens. After that, then I can do 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Then 10 plus the 4 I was keeping, that makes 14. So I don't have anywhere to keep my 1. This is 14. Then I have to keep the 1 here. But I don't have anywhere to keep it. So I'm going to write the 014 down. Alright. After that, then I will start with the second digit right here, which is 7. I will use the 7 to multiply everything up here again. But take note, you should always start, because 7 here is the tens. So I will start my first answer under this tens. So meaning that I should not leave these ones empty. I will put 0 there. So now 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. This is my 35. And I'm writing the ones, which is the 5, under the tens. Don't forget, because I'm using the 7. 7 is the tens here. So I should write my first answer under the 7, which is the tens. So I got 35 and I picked the ones, which is 5. I wrote it under the tens. Then I have to keep the 3 on top of the tens as well, which is 3. After that, then you do 8 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. Then 56 plus the 3 I was keeping, that makes 59. So the 9 is the ones. I have to write the ones down, which is 9, under the next digit. Then keep my 5 on top of the next digit, which is 100 here. Thereafter, I'm going to do 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Do not forget you are keeping 5. So 14 plus 5 is 19. Then 19, there's no other figure that I can keep my 1. So I'm going to write the 019. Just like this. After that, then you can add everything together. Alright, so let's add everything. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 4 plus 9 is 13. I'm going to write 3, keep my 1. Then 1 plus 1 is 2. The 2 plus 9 is 11. I'm going to write 1, keep another 1 right here. Then 1 plus 1 will give me 2. Alright, so this is where we're going. How do I locate my decimal point? Alright, you go back to the question whenever you want to locate your decimal point. How many decimal places is this question? This is just 2 decimal places because there are 2 digits at the back of the decimal point. After the decimal point, there are 2 digits. This is 2 decimal places, and this is 1 decimal place because there's only 1 digit after the decimal point. So I'm going to add the 2 digits here plus the 1 digit here makes 3. So I'm going to count from the back 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. Then put my decimal point right here. The answer will now be 21.375. Alright. Now you can try this and drop your answers in the comment section. 45.2 multiplied by 2.4. Then 85.15 multiplied by 6.2. Alright, thank you very much